Good afternoon, everybody. SoCalsabre here, Bill Thornton, and it's time for the video. Uh, in my February wrap-up, I said I had a couple sports games coming in, and one of them I've been working with. They're both in, but one of them I've been trying to learn is triple play baseball, the board dice and card game, not to be confused with the PlayStation video game. I got that in. I've been working my way through it. Uh, and I'm going to show you some of the components and so forth, and then I'm going to tell you some, what I feel about it after the end. This is not really an unboxing, but it's not going to be a playthrough either. I'm just going to demo a few things for you so that you can, further help, um, you know, decide whether you want to go this way. There are a couple good playthroughs out there on this game, and I'll explain how I use them to help get me through it. But let's start taking a look at these components up here and see what we got.
It's actually 4 dice. There's a black one also that is only used when you're sending runners on the optional charts. Okay, got cards come. I picked up the 2012 season. Being a Detroit Tiger fan, I thought it would be nice to have Miguel Cabrera's Triple Crown season in my collection. So that's what I went for. Cards I'm showing you up here is the pitcher's cards, and I'm going to show you a batter's card. I've been having a hard time focusing. My other table that I normally do the videos on, I couldn't get my laptop to focus on anything today. So I've been having a little bit more better luck in this, but I'm still having focus issues. So bear with me if I struggle through this, but I'm going to try to show you some stuff. This is a pitcher's card. Okay. Come on. Okay, as you can see, it's Matt Moore, Tampa, 2012. It's a pitcher. He throws left. Down the this side of the card, you'll see 2 columns of numbers. That's the dice results when he's facing a left-handed batter. His dice of numbers rolls are from 500 to 999. The other 2 columns, the stuff in the middle, is the result of the dice rolls. Then the next 2 columns is when he's facing a right-handed batter. And boy, oh boy. Try to so down that other side of that card is stamina. And his stamina is 26. But boy, I really want to be able to show you some more on what we're seeing here. Almost had one. Okay. Below that we have range R. This is terrible. Here we go. R. E, H, and S. His range, or defensive range, is MD, which is moderate. And then his error is 12, hold is 4, and his against steals is 0. The range numbers, there's 7 different ranges that range all the way from superior to weak on players' positions and how well they play it. And the errors go up from, I think, from like 4 to 20. Okay, then there's against balk and his wild pitch rating. There are pitcher batting cards, and as you see, it says bats 1. We would be using the number 1 card for him. And then his bunt rating is 5. Down there in the bottom, almost at the bottom, it says SPEC. Some pitchers have special ratings like B, R, T, and L. In the rule book, it explains what they are. Like the B is all even numbered rolls that end up in a walk turn into a foul ball. So the pitchers get some advantage or some disadvantage. And on the bottom is his stats for 2012. So we have a little better luck with Austin Jackson's card here. Okay, Austin, Detroit. It says bats RP, right pull, and right SP, right spray. If there's points in the game where you're going to have a range infield check, you use the RP. An outfield infield check, you do the RSP. His position center field, his range is VG, which is very good compared to what Matt Morris's moderate was. Then he has an error of 19. I mean, it's much better. And outfielders and catchers have throwing range. Catchers also have a pass ball number on theirs. Okay, as you can see, his power levels, he's a level 3 power, 5's the best against lefties, and he's 3 against righties. So I would, say that's average. Speed's a 9. That's not how fast he is going, like from first to second. That's his intuition on how well he runs the base pass. Then there's his steal rating, his jump rating. You got to try to get a jump before you can go. His bunt rating and his clutch rating. C, I guess that's choked. That's the lowest one. There's T, N, and C. They don't really come into play a lot yet that I've seen. And then his injury rating, his age, and his stats. Okay, most of the results come right off of the cards, except for when you get things like up on the top there, you got range infield and range outfield, and you have deep and error checks off of the batter's cards. They all come off of the charts. Okay, there's 6 double-sided charts. There's 12 of them. About 2 1/4 of them go away right after you start the game, because at the beginning of the game you're required to check the weather. And then there's a temperature check, a sky check to see if it's overcast or partly cloudy or raining, and then there's a wind check to see if the wind is blowing in or out or right to left and so forth. And it's got all the different stadiums listed on it, and so that they go away right after you do that. You don't have to worry about those. So you're still going to be dealing with, we'll say, like 10 charts. I have played with the charts, and I'm going to show you one of the charts here to see what there's. We're going to say that we had an error check on one of the batter's cards, and so we would say, okay, it'll ask you what kind of you'll roll a dice, and you'll say if it's an infield, and it'll tell you, okay, if it's a 5, you're going to be checking the third baseman, and just this number the same way it is in baseball. And then you go to the third baseman and you see what his error number is, and we'll say it's 14. So you get on the column to the third baseman, you roll the dice, and you find out what the result was, and so forth. And so most of the charts are pretty simple and quick like that. But they also have something that is really good for people that just really don't want to deal with charts very often, and that's they have a DOS application called TP Assistant, which is free to download. So instead of doing charts on the TP Assistant, we'll say I just use that last example. It's an error on the batter's card. I go up and I click error on the DOS thing, and then it'll say, okay, roll the die, and it'll tell me second baseman. You do so you look at the second baseman, and I'll say he's very good. You hit very good, roll the dice, and then it tells you what the result is. So you don't have to be messing with charts, bringing in and out and in and out. And it does speed the game up some. I haven't timed any of the games that I played. And I've played probably 7 games so far. 3 with just the charts, 3 or 4 with just charts, and the rest of them I've been using TP Assistant. The charts do give you some nice thematic gain to the game, but for those of you who don't want to do the charts, please get the TP Assistant. The rules, I talked about that stamina for the pitchers. That's a number. That's for starting pitchers. Relief pitchers, they have a rating of long, short, or closure. Well, in that rule book, the rule book is only 4 double-sided pages, and I'm stretching it by calling it a rule book compared to what we're used to in other games. It'll tell you in there how many batters a long guy can go, or shorter or closer can go. But for the most part, there's 4 things. It'll touch base on, okay, clutch, and it'll say T, tough, N, well, and C. But it does not tell me when are these things happening. What happens when what situations brings these into play? So how I've had to work myself out there is reading the charts, because there's stuff on the charts that should be in the rule books, and some in the rule books that should not be in there, that should be on charts and so forth. But there are a couple good playthrough demonstrations and playthroughs out there on YouTube that I've used. I'm going to watch the videos while I'm reading the rules, while I'm looking at the charts, while I'm playing the game to help me get through. So I'm about have the rules in. I don't say I'll say I'm 90% in with the rules right now. So keep that in mind. Rules are a little bit tough. Yeah, I have started the 2012 Detroit replay. Played the first 3 games against Boston. In real life, in 2012, Detroit won 3-0 against Boston. In my replay, I'm 1-2. So yeah, go figure. But some people get mad if the games aren't statistically accurate. I don't. I just let that go by. I'm just playing it to have fun and say, well, what if I was playing manage them? I am using the as played lineups, but this is a dice game. And what can you say? The randomness is crazy. So anyway, that's Triple Play Baseball, the cards and dice game. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please go down there and hit the like button and push it out on your social media channels if you haven't done so yet. And if you have any questions, put them down in there. If you have anything you'd like me to do or consider doing, put them in the remarks and, let me know. So until then, take care of yourselves out there, be kind to each other, and in these days of still big COVID numbers, stay safe.